At the end of the day, we want kids to just be kids. And when you have adults that are looking to harm them, we've got to step in and we've got to protect them, and that's exactly what we're doing here today. So we're going to be signing 5 pieces of legislation that is going to do a number of things. One of the things that we are going to do is we are going to crack down on the grooming of these minors. And the fact of the matter is, with the rise of the internet and social media and all these different apps, that has been a playground for these predators to go in and to groom these young kids. So HB 1545 is going to protect children from adult groomers attempting to prey on them. It will prohibit an adult from engaging in a pattern of communication to a minor that includes explicit and detailed sexual activity descriptions, and that's what they try to do. They try to get into that venue with these young kids. It will increase penalties for child exploitation crimes, and it establishes the conduct as a third-degree felony, which strengthens the punishments associated with child exploitation and making those punishments more severe as they should. We want to deter this from happening. You know, as much as we've done in Florida, and we've done more than most other states. I mean, this whole online stuff is a major, major cesspool, and even the most diligent parent is not going to be able to do it alone. And so we're stepping up to say, don't even try to do that in Florida. You are going to face significant consequences if you do. We're also signing HB 1131. So this is going to create a grant program within the Florida Department of Law Enforcement that is going to facilitate online sting operations. And so, you know, Florida will be our very own grant program to catch a predator. We're going to be doing that in really significant ways. I'm also signing HB 1235, which creates stricter guidelines for sexual offender registration. I mean, for example, some of these offenders will register, which they're required to do, but then they will set up shop at a temporary residence where they're not registered. So maybe you're registered in Fort Myers, and then you have an apartment in St. Petersburg, and you go in, and a parent will look to see if there's any offender, maybe in their apartment complex, and it won't show up because they're registered many miles away. So we're putting the kibosh on that loophole to make sure that the whole purpose of the registry is to alert other people about who may be in their communities or in their neighborhoods. And the reason why you do that is because folks that have committed these types of offenses typically reoffend. And there's a higher likelihood that that could happen. So we want people to be on notice. So this does that. It also makes sure that they're registering vehicles and vessels if they're using that as their living quarters. You have a houseboat and bring it somewhere else. People have a right to know about that. We're also going to make sure that they can't just get off the registry, and also that international travel is documented as appropriate. I'm also signing SB 1224, which strengthens the role of state right guardian ad litem office and, thanks to the advocacy of the Gabby Petito Foundation, implements new training requirements to ensure law enforcement properly assesses domestic violence situations. We are going to have a new role for supportive adults to assist children transitioning out of foster care so that they can live and work independently. We're also establishing a fostering prosperity grant program for youth and young adults aging out of foster care to facilitate smooth transitions to trade schools to teach financial literacy and to provide college prep tools. The bill creates, and this is something that I know was patterned after some other states that did this many years ago. The bill creates a lethality assessment that requires responding law enforcement officers to a domestic violence incident to determine whether a domestic violence victim is at a higher risk of death or serious injury. The bill was inspired by Gabby Petito, who of course was tragically murdered by her own fiance. Gabby's father, Joe, has been supporting and pushing for the language in the legislation, as well as other members of the family and the foundation. And today we honor those efforts by making this the law of the land in the state of Florida. Finally, I'll be signing HB 305 to expand the types of evidence that can be presented to a jury in child sex abuse cases and increase penalties on those who take part in the sexual trafficking of minors. So we're taking a strong stand here in the state of Florida. That's typically what we do in these situations, and I think that this is going to offer good protection for the children of our state, and people should just know that we are forthrightly committed, whatever we need to do to maintain Florida as the best place to raise kids. We're going to do it, and we're going to make sure that we keep the bad guys at bay.